was at a party with your girlfriend. She was butt naked. Yeah, we started shaking.
It's the 15th episode, or 16th episode. I always mess it up, which is hard to believe that's already 16 because it seems like it was one, and we were plugging along, and there was ups and downs. But now we're at 16, so more ups and downs to come, I'm sure. I think episode 100 is going to be some valuable information, you know?
That's going to be where you hit the stride.
Yeah, that's where I'm going to...
That makes sense.
Catching my stride. Nobody's going to break my stride. But until then, there's going to be a lot of speed bumps and rocks in the road. But today, I'm actually really excited because it's the first stranger. Like, we just met 5 minutes ago, and I've kind of wanted this show to go in that direction anyway. But it's kind of hard to get out of that niche of, you know, easy conversations with your friends.
Yeah, of course, and getting people to show up and finding strangers to even talk to.
Yeah.
Outside of a van.
It didn't work. Yeah, it didn't work in the street with my mom's Chrysler. But no, I'm happy to have you here. My brother actually introduced me to you and kind of got that in line with. Am I saying it right? Akos White.
Akos, yep, exactly.
Akos. Is that what you kind of just going to be Akos?
Yeah, we can do that. We can do anything we want.
The next hot seltzer.
Yeah.
On the market.
Going for a new product angle, but definitely the next hot alcohol product on the market.
Got you. Okay. Well.
Yeah, for at least the next day.
Yeah. I'm trying to learn. I'm a very big advocate of new alcohols and alcohol in general. A lot of times on the show we even drink beers and stuff, but that kind of sometimes even goes down a rabbit hole.
Well, that's all right. I think a lot of good ideas come from that space.
Yeah. It's kind of hard because when you're doing this show, you kind of want to have these conversations that don't get recorded. You know, that's what you kind of get. You're trying to imitate these interactions with people.
Well, if we need a break a little bit, we can always pause and get off color and then come back.
Yeah, I'll pause.
Yeah, whatever we need.
Okay, now we're off camera. We can actually have the real conversation. But Akos White, how did it even? It's so bland a question to say how did it even start. But when did it cross your mind that it's like this can happen?
Yeah, so there's a few answers to that, and the first one I'll talk about the inception of the idea. Because originally I'd never even heard of any palm sap products or palm alcohols.
Yeah, you just hear about palm oil, and that's even like a
palm oil.
word.
It should be, yeah. It's completely different, and it's a good trigger word to have. So my friend Mike and I were on a motorcycle trip across Tanzania, actually. We just finished climbing.
Just casually?
Yeah, casually.
Yeah.
We finished
the
climbing
weekend trip
in Kilimanjaro, and we bought motorcycles and had some time to kill, so we had about 3 weeks left of our trip, so we rode across the countryside. And
what? First of all, let's skip Akos.
Yeah.
Climb Kilimanjaro, which is in
Tanzania. And Kenya. It's right to the border.
Okay. But Tanzania, you were just climbing Kilimanjaro, rented or bought motorcycles.
Yeah.
Which, that's definitely a.
Well, they were real cheap. They were worth like less than $200. These things were not nice.
Not nice.
No, these were not
rusty.
Bikes. These were.
Yeah,
they were Chinese, 125 cc's. Only one of 2 brakes worked on both machines, and
but that's what makes it fun.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to have a safe. You know?
We almost lost Mike about 5 or 6 times.
Gotcha.
That was also where he learned to ride motorcycles.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a perfect time to do it.
Yeah, red dirt villages, you assume it's very safe.
You don't want to start on an expensive motorcycle.
No, that's a fact, actually.
So you were just finished climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, excuse me. Rented these motorcycles and traveled to Tanzania.
Yep.
With a backpack, stopping at local, bread and breakfasts. I'm not quite sure what the...
Yeah, we stopped at a town called Same and ordered some rice and beef, and that was the best meal we'd had so far in Africa. We'd been there for over a week, and that was fantastic for about $1 for a plate plus like 50 cents a beer.
Really?
Really good time.
Good beer, too?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You were related to any kind of beer that's around, or was it just different spectrum?
No, the Tanzanian beers are definitely influenced by kind of like lagers. They're pretty light though. I would estimate about 4% alcohol, really smooth, easy to drink.
For sure.
Yeah, they have Serengeti.
Refreshing, it's hot.
Yeah, and they're called Serengeti. That's the name of the beer.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
It's pretty chill.
Yeah.
Definitely not a tourist destination though.
No, people are afraid to do new things, really.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting.
Even come on a show. I have some friends that I have asked, and they're like, I don't know if I want to. I'm like, come on, what is the worst that can happen? You have a conversation, and 45 people see it.
Yeah, well,
hopefully more than that.
Even if it's a few thousand, I bomb. It's gonna crack us for the next 5,000, I bomb.
And that was really the main goal of the show, is just to learn how to talk to people. I was having trouble with interviews and really just effectively collecting my thoughts and translating them to somebody. It also helps with editing practice. And stuff.
Yeah, and when you're on camera, it's totally different. Too,
yeah,
you're trying to look good and also trying to convey a point.
Yeah, it's a happy medium. So you had this beef and rice.
Yeah, so we have delicious food, and my friend Mike, always the logistics planner. I'm usually the big picture guy, and Mike's always going to tell us how, like, we're going to go down this road, turn right here, make this.
You need that kind of guy in your group.
Yeah, so he found the ferry terminal in a place called Tonga, Tanzania, and we're going to take a ferry there with our motorcycles to Zanzibar, so we'd still have our rides and could have a good little time.
For sure.
So we get to Tonga, Tanzania, and the ferry terminal doesn't exist. There's some like pieces of wood that used to make up a dock, but it looked like at least 30 years out of date.
Yeah.
But it's still on Google Maps, even to this day. And there's no
And you
ferry.
can update it.
Yeah, there's no ferry, and it
Okay.
doesn't need to be updated. We should have done that. That should have been our giving back day.
Yeah.
We should have been updating Google Maps.
Or build a better dock.
Build one in general.
That'd be that's big commitment.
Yeah, so now we're stuck in Tonga, Tanzania, and there's no transportation to get anywhere. There's an airplane that leaves every third day or so that could take us to Zanzibar. We'd have to leave our bikes there, but it's not the end of the world. Zanzibar's pretty small. So, what do we do for 3 days?
Drink.
Yeah, drink's a good choice, but we're in the middle of nowhere in Africa. We should go have a cultural experience.
Okay.
Yeah, so while we're trying to book a flight on the little single-engine Cessna to get us to Zanzibar, you can't just book through airlines there online. You actually have to use an actual travel agent. So the airline has an office in town, and then the airline that flies single-engine Cessna has an office in town.
Yeah.
And then the guy that's the travel agent has an office next to him. And you got to go through that guy to buy
So
the
that was
ticket.
your cultural experience, just
Yeah.
not buying a ticket online.
Correct. So that was the beginning of the cultural experience. And also, the money there is like very, very low denominations compared to US dollars. So they'll pay for things. It's like a stack that big.
But
Even
you
for like a
felt-
$50
You
ticket.
felt like a rapper though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I had a clock hanging from me.
Yeah.
So we're talking to this guy, and he's like, "Well, what are you going to do in Tonga for 3 days? Tonga is the future of Africa." And I'm looking at Mike like it's getting kind of weird, my man.
Yeah, it's like a prophecy kind of. Like,
Yeah, and he's like, "I will take you. We will have fun. I'll take you to the porn cave."
The porn cave.
Porn cave, yeah.
So.
Yeah, so this guy's name's Emmanuel, and he's, I don't know, maybe about yay tall on us,
Yeah.
but he's jacked for his size. He's like, Kevin Hart's not a bad analogy, but skinnier, like more athletic, very
More
good,
cut.
very good build, yeah.
Got you. Okay.
And
Emmanuel.
he's a hustler, dresses real nice, which actually, has you a little sketched out when he's going to take you to the porn
No,
cave.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely some red flags.
Yeah, so he pitches us on this great couple days. We're going to go see this porn cave, and then we're going to go to a hot spring and have a spiritual experience.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, this could be interesting.
Yeah.
So
A guru of sorts.
yeah, and he's like, I'll do all this for like 30 US. And I'm like, let's rock.
Yeah. That's what you were looking for. A cultural experience. So
Yep.
so you got to the.
Yeah, so first we're in this, we have him set this up, and he's like, yeah, the tuk-tuk will pick you up at your hotel. So we booked a hotel that was also like $20 a night, which was
Okay,
awesome.
yeah.
And we were the only guests, which is strange.
Yeah.
For like 3 days we were there.
No tourists, you know.
No, it was I don't know how they make money. So Emmanuel tells us the tuk-tuk's going to pick us up in an hour because we're going to unpack and shower because we haven't showered in days.
Gotcha.
So we get that knocked out, and then this tuk-tuk shows up, and he's got a driver for the tuk-tuk, and Emmanuel, Kevin Hart,
Tuk-tuk's a person?
No, tuk-tuk's a 3-wheeled vehicle.
Oh, okay.
We can pull that up,
Yeah,
right?
I got you.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got a visual. I actually have pictures.
Okay. You can say
Yeah, it's like a scooter with 3 wheels
Gotcha.
and like a little covering.
A tuk-tuk.
Yeah. So, but the guy hopped over the desk to come ride in the tuk-tuk with us. So rather than just me and Mike in the back, it's the 3 of us wedged in this thing like that,
Yeah.
driving across town. And we go through this forest road, and it's narrow, and you're hitting trees, and the thing falls off into like a fucking ditch, so we drag it out a bunch of times. So we finally get to the porn cave, and that was an experience.
The porn cave.
Porn cave.
Which was. See, two things pop in my head with the porn cave. Because I want to think it's like, you're at Family Video and there's the porn cave, it's like the
Yeah.
behind the curtain kind of thing and there's all the pornographic films. Or it's like an ancient cave where like some stick figures have tits or something.
Yeah, so it's closer to the second one.
Okay.
The cave had historical value. That was where the Tanzanians fought their resistance against the previous occupying forces. They were occupied by a lot of countries previously,
Gotcha.
and they've had resistances there
Yeah.
many, many times.
Africa's seen it all. Been
Yeah.
through wire.
Well, and they won eventually, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But the porn cave is full of phallic imagery, or they think it's phallic. It's, I don't know, it's grasping.
And yeah.
Yeah, but
Abstract.
there's plenty of penis-shaped rocks in that
Gotcha.
cave if you're looking for them.
Okay, yeah.
So it wasn't really underwhelming, and it was about as funny as we expected.
Okay, for sure.
The real funny thing was his stories of these Danish girls. He sat us down and he's like, look at this one. I had these Danish girls, you see, and they say, look, this is the biggest clit I ever saw. And he starts fucking cracking up. And me and Mike are like, this is the weirdest thing I've ever done. Just telling us all these
Well, that's what
people.
you wanted.
Yeah.
That's getting out of your comfort zone.
So that was the beginning of that. The hot spring was underwhelming.
Underwhelming?
Underwhelming, yeah.
Really?
So apparently, the hot spring was going to make you like a Greek god in terms of fertility. Like, you can just fly by
Gotcha.
a maiden's window and, like, she'll be pregnant. You don't have to say hi, just float
Would you
by.
want that though? That's
No,
like,
you don't.
Yeah, don't go there.
But he's like, you have to go swim in this hot spring.
Okay.
And then we'll serve you this drink, and it's going to be great. So we get to the Palm Spring, and it smells just sulfury. And people are doing their laundry in it, and it's about that deep, and it's just muck. It's just like mud.
Gotcha.
And he's like, yeah, don't you see all the spirituality here?
So no steam or like
No, it's like kind of gross.
It's kind of gross.
Yeah, but we take our shoes off and dip in because we feel like we have to.
Yeah.
Um,
It took you all that way. Emmanuel's going out for it.
yeah, and I don't have a good visual here, but imagine if this were like a sketchy milk jug covered in dirt with like a white fluid in it. And me and Mike are sitting there like, well, this wasn't a bad waste of $30.
Yeah.
Worse. This has been interesting at least.
What else were you gonna do? My idea was to drink. How lame is that?
Yeah.
I could do that in my mom's basement.
So he pops out
I
with
do
this.
do it in my mom's basement.
Yeah, well,
Okay, so it's like a jug of
and
grossness.
it's bright white, kind of opaque fluid.
Milky?
Yeah, pretty milky. And he's like, this is the Quantadi. You drink this now.
Yeah.
See 2 dirty glasses, pours us both about yay much in there. And, we're committed. We're going to do this.
Yeah.
Like, you're in Africa. You're on an adventure.
Are you gonna turn around that far? No.
Yeah, I mean, we've been eating the food, drinking the water, talking to the girls.
Yeah.
So, might as well. In for a penny.
Drink the drink.
Yeah, cheers, bottoms up, expecting it to be pretty, raw.
Yeah. Tart.
Yeah, well, I was expecting it to be like
Chunky?
booze, to be honest. I thought it was going to be distilled.
Really?
And yeah, first sip goes down, and it goes down smooth. And it's a little sweet, a little sour, and we look at each other and maybe we should try some more. So the guy brings us the jug and pours us a couple more glasses, and a couple more glasses, and a couple more glasses. And now we're really enjoying this hot spring. We're seeing the spiritual side.
Okay.
Yeah. So Emmanuel's sitting there getting drunk with us. Drinking it right out of the jug, as you'd expect. And we kind of... Where does this shit come from? I didn't expect it to be good, and now that it is good, how come I've never heard of it?
No, you wouldn't even trust a white, milky...
Not normally.
Yeah, no, that's not really a normal drink. Like, milk is kind of, in general, a little bit of a weird drink to drink. Like, just the consistency and color. So, like, it would throw me off, for sure.
Absolutely. So, we were immediately curious why we'd never heard of it. And as he told us where it came from, he's like, the farmers, they climb the palm tree in the morning, and they tap the tree, collect the sap, and then it comes to alcohol in the evening. So what do you mean? They just get sap out of the tree, and then it turns into alcohol in same day? And he's like, yeah.
You mix it with water, or
No.
it's just the sap?
So, no, we don't believe any of this, right?
Okay,
We're like, it can't be this simple. This is ridiculous. I would have heard of this.
Especially if you haven't heard of it.
Yeah, I drink everything there is. I would have.
Yes.
And we're pretty worldly. We both travel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we go to Zanzibar and have a cultural experience there, do some scuba diving and come back. And now we're back with the motorcycles, and we've been talking to Emmanuel on WhatsApp. Not paid to promote them.
Gotcha.
Not at all.
It's actually funny because that's what is sponsoring this episode.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
What a coincidence.
Yes.
I don't always use it for...
You kind of made it more simple for me. I don't have to force it in there anymore.
So Emmanuel set up a tour for us so we could go meet the... I would say the guys that create this, because literally it's just guys that go make a
farmers,
jug.
he said.
Yeah, well, I mean, they just make a jug of this for every night, so the village can just get drunk.
Okay.
It's not commercial application whatsoever. It's
Tap it
and
in
their farming isn't for this, really. Their farming is for other things, and they just happen to drink this for fun.
Gotcha.
So we go back to see how this stuff's all made, and the simplicity is mind-boggling. They have used the same trees for 50 years, for generations, really. And in the trees, they've got carved steps where they can climb to the top of the palm tree really easily.
Gotcha.
And then they can just hang a little collecting pot up there.
Like syrup.
Yeah, sap drips in, and it's more watery than syrup. It's really pretty thin consistency. Really? And the sap drips in there. In Africa, each tree provides a couple liters a day, and the yeast is literally in the air. So it starts to ferment right off the bat. Overnight it ferments, so it's ready to go in a day. And they just put it in a jug in the middle of the village, and they just
come get your ladle.
Yeah. So
your daily dose.
Me and Mike had done some Googling in Zanzibar, because we're like, how come we never heard of this shit? It's really good. It's got amino acids, probiotics, and all this crazy shit.
And it happens right before your eyes.
Yeah, and it happens. It's so raw. There's nothing that happens like this. So how come, in the world we live in with kombucha and freaking probiotics and all the cool bells and whistles we have, why haven't we even heard of this? So now, we can't really come up with a reason. Mike, unless I'm stupid, people in the U.S. would like this. Because I'd like this. This would be what I would buy. I would buy this if I had a choice. And what are you thinking? Mike's like, yeah, let's keep thinking about this, and if in a month we still think this, we'll do some further
reevaluate.
See if it's got legs.
Yeah.
So I tell the story I just told you to a few more people. That would be awesome to try at least, and if it tasted good, that would be my first choice.
Yeah.
If it were really healthy and sustainable.
So is it healthy? What is it's just natural, obviously. Like your slogan's like naturally spirited or natural spirit.
Yeah. So the fermentation process that happens in nature is complete. Like, they don't do any filtering. They don't do any preservatives, additives. They don't do freaking anything. It just comes out of the tree. Our process for shelf-stability is a little bit different. So we dehydrate the sap to make it kind of a paste so it can ship shelf-stable, and that stops it from fermenting, obviously.
Gotcha.
And then we ferment it with one species of yeast rather than whatever's floating around.
Gotcha.
Because we don't want it to taste different every single glass.
Of course, yeah. You want consistency, of course.
And it looked like the reason that nobody ever really bottled it, at least the raw form, is just because after about a day it goes bad, because it keeps fermenting forever. So it turns into kind of vinegar and grossness.
Gotcha.
If you don't control
it. So you just found obviously you couldn't get out of the village if it's the one day of,
Yeah, well, and different trees have different amounts and different yeasts, so it's like there's so many variables that couldn't be controlled for, because we were trying to bring some home with us that time. And everyone on the ground's like, no, it will go bad in maybe a day and a half at most, even if it
Yeah.
So yeah, our manual was very informative for that.
That is crazy, man. Finding an alcohol out there that's never been, never heard of to you. Obviously, it's local and they, use it in abundance. But imagine going out there and finding I don't want to say like a food you've never heard of, but like.
Yeah, like an animal you've never heard of. Like
something
imagine
like
if you
that,
ate something like a cow and you never even heard of the animal before.
And
it's crazy.
They're everywhere around here,
Yeah.
Especially in Colorado. You see them driving by. You see herds of cattle everywhere, and not being able to understand what it is or where it comes from, and then finding out about this being so simple, that's an amazing story. And I can see why people are getting involved in it, because people want to be, I think it's an exciting experience to start this.
Yeah.
And especially how it even came to be.
Oh, it was born in adventure, which I think is important to the brand.
I agree. And that's kind of like, from what Joe was telling me, that's kind of the vibe you want to be going down with this. It's kind of a drink, obviously, for anybody that wants to enjoy it can, but it's refreshing and it's good for someone that, after an adventure,
for sure,
you can drink and feel good about yourself and even, get a little buzz if you want to.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. We're going to take a quick break. Dude, thank you so much for being on. We're going to get back into, your piloting, because that isn't flying here just was mind-boggling. I fell asleep right away. But
Perfect.
But we'll be right back after this WhatsApp ad.
Do you ever find yourself asking,
What?
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 or just not understanding?
What?
Well, maybe really confused?
What?
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 Or just downright surprised?
What?
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 So are we.
What?
WhatsApp. What? Paid by the US government.
So I've recently just finished one of my favorite videos I've ever made so far. I've been doing this video thing for like 2 years now, and
tell me about that. What's got this started? You don't need to go too far.
Yeah, just basically, I was kind of always a funny, goofy kid, and I enjoyed talking to parents and making parents laugh, especially like, going over, I would be the kid that would go over to your friend's house and you talk to the parents for the first like half of the night, and eventually,
Get to the friends.
Get to the friends. And you have your friends like, dude, get away from my mom, bro. Just quit talking to my mom. But, dude, being nice with the parents gets you so much browning points. Not like that's what I'm going for, just like they trust you, being with your, just establishes a good ground for, friendship with a new person. So anyway, I was funny and I kind of enjoyed being funny. So I started to make videos, but I had a Droid Razor that was so shitty and delayed and so shitty. I don't know how I ever fucking made anything with it. I'll post one video I made. I'm Troba and I'm looking for peaches. That one's no good. That one's rotten. And it was fun. It was genuine and innocent, and that's what was fun about it. But I never pursued it really. And then one of my buddies got involved into it a little bit more, and he kind of taught me the editing side of it.
Yeah.
That's what I was afraid of. But ultimately, I'm really sticking with it because I like the adventure. I like not only like being able to record what you're doing and like the trip you had, but also like getting a little creative on the little side twist of it.
Yeah.
And you know, it's just a skill to have to be able to capture a moment and.
Well, it's fun to be pursuing something, right? To
Yes.
have goals and a purpose outside of it.
Yes, and get better at it. Dude, I just made this firehouse set, which was really cool because it was an adventure, and we had its obstacles, people not showing up, like you said at the beginning, you know, weather, you name it. It was COVID or whatever. The fire tower being closed. But my friend did this charity set on the top of this fire tower, and it was just that chase of trying to figure out. You don't know the end goal yet.
Yep.
But the chase of, you know, we can make this into a cool little, some sort of medium that, you know, hundreds if not thousands of people can enjoy one day. And I got better with the animation, and that was a really groundbreaking moment for me. So that was the adventure part of me that really got going. Joe, on my other hand, I have the story of him reading this book called Hatchet. You ever
That's a
read-
great book.
Yes.
I think every kid should read Hatchet.
I think it's like a
It's a coming of age story, but it's also a survival story.
exactly, and that's the moment I knew that my brother was going to be a mountain man.
Oh yeah.
He's going to get out there and with his hatchet and climb trees but he's always been into adventure, and you naturally being a pilot kind of, you know, leads into an adventure and what's the road ahead or whatever.
Oh yeah. I mean,
What's
I
on the
know.
horizon?
For sure.
I don't know. Did you have any inspiration? Like, do you watch any movies like Con Air or
Air America, maybe.
or Flight or Captain Sully? This is probably post you actually pursuing this.
Yeah, Top Gun. naturally.
Of course, you can't
Yeah.
forget about Top Gun. Did you have any like things growing up that you were like,
There was a TV show that had like animated characters. I don't remember. Maybe like Rescue Rain. No, I don't remember. Like Tailspin might have been one. There was like a bear that flew.
Rescue?
Like, amphibian. Rescue Rangers one too.
do they have little action figures with it too?
Maybe, yeah.
Rescue, I don't know, maybe. I'll do some research.
Yeah.
But you saw the show,
But I loved airplanes.
caught your attention, yeah? The Wright brothers documentary.
Yeah, I think more like adventure airplanes. Like the Wright brothers one I didn't like very much because it didn't seem practical. Like,
Yeah.
it could only go a little distance and it couldn't carry anything.
And those black and white movie, like videos of them like failing miserably.
Yeah. Then when you see like a tail airplane landing in Alaska or Africa somewhere and you're like, oh man, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Like,
What have you fly for?
a company called Omni Air International.
Okay. And you do what with them? People or commercial?
Yep, we do people. A lot of what we do is government charter, so we do a lot of Department of Defense stuff. We do a lot of other governmental missions, but
Really?
yeah, every now and then we do like normal
Got
civilian
you.
charter.
So that's under, you know, the classified
No, well,
folder.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
maybe.
You flying people like around country or is it like local? Or around the world, national?
international is probably 95% of what I fly.
Really?
Yeah, so 6 of the 7 continents we go everywhere, but Antarctica.
Damn. How long are these trips? On that, like you go through hours,
Yeah, like 8 to 14 hours, I'd say is the average flight.
and you're sitting there with your coffee and your
Yeah.
and a lipper in. What? You know,
Some people
gotta
are.
stay buzzed.
Yeah, well, our employee handbook does forbid the use of alcohol or tobacco products.
Gotcha. Oh, no.
Obviously, tobacco especially during flight.
Yeah. Anybody,
Yeah.
you know, should prohibit
Yeah.
that. But I just think that's so cool flying because it's earlier this spring break. There is a vlog about it. We drove 14 hours, me and 3 other friends, 15 hours actually, to get to Colorado, and we got here and the ski resort closed.
Yeah, that was the weekend of March 14th, was it?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a rough weekend.
That
for everybody.
was the weekend. It was fun adventure, but we got here and everything was closed. It was crazy. We ate at Buffalo Wild Wings. It was probably the best beer I've ever had. I don't remember what the beer was. I was just at, you know, after a 15-hour car ride,
It's time.
it's time for a beer. And we had to dip because of the COVID, and
Mhm.
so it took 3 days of travel. Where this trip only took, you know, I got in a plane and I was here in.
A couple hours.
It's unreal how fast it goes.
Yeah,
it's
we're
time travel.
totally desensitized to it now, which is
Yeah.
fine because that's the nature of humans. But
Gotcha. It's crazy how it evolves too recently.
Mm.
Relatively new. Now it's so.
yeah,
I mean, just mind-boggling, really. How'd you get into it? Did you go
yeah.
to school?
So I started flying hang gliders when I was 14. So I would run off cliffs on a hang glider.
How do you stop? How do you get to the
How do you
wheels?
stop? Well, yeah, so you fly into free space and then you can fly around and you can ride rising columns of air. Those are called thermals, so you can circle in those and go up to 10,000 plus feet. And that's really cool. If you've never seen like a business jet fly underneath you while you're just hanging in like free space in a little shitty glider.
Do you have like a parachute on or anything?
You're strapped into the hang glider, so you're like literally hanging by a carabiner and like attachment points.
Okay,
and you do have a parachute on your chest as well, but that's more for like mid-air collisions and
Got you.
else.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
that, like, go
And then you like have like a maneuver, like you pull levers or something.
No, so it's all weight shift. So like you push yourself left and the thing goes left, and you push yourself backwards and the weight moves back, so the thing pitches up.
So that's how you started. You started hang gliding, running off cliffs.
Oh,
with-
I mean, the remote control airplanes and model airplanes.
Gotcha.
When I was a toddler
Oh,
too,
for
but-
sure.
Yeah.
I have this drone now. It's crazy how easy it is.
Oh my god, those are so simple.
Yeah.
Like remote control helicopters.
Yeah.
Ooh, those things are hard to fly.
Yeah, I gotta get better at it. I want to do the drone that can do like the spins and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm a few hours of training and dollars short on that. But being a pilot's a pretty direct route in my opinion. Like I'm an economist. I'm an econ major.
Yeah.
Not that I really excel in that or
Well.
could do that really professionally right now by any means. But being a pilot's pretty direct route to a job. Would you say?
It can be. There's like a lot of paths to get to different places, and there's like a lot more routes than you see. Obviously, like
Yeah.
people think of Delta American, Southwest United.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of good direct routes to take there. You can join the military to be a fighter pilot for 10 or 15 years, and then you can escape that to go fly for an airline.
Gotcha.
Or you can go to like a university to learn to fly, and then maybe fly for a regional for a few years, and then slide right to an airline.
Okay.
I took kind of a more strange route and ended up in a more strange place, but that's more because I don't.
That's an adventure in you, man.
That is so you got
That's
me
the adventure in
dialed
you.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So your indirect route was a university or on online training? Or
So I started learning to fly
University
in high
of
school
Phoenix
in my
online?
local field. So I've flown little crappy airplanes. We'd take off sometimes. The transponder would slide out of the tray, so you could put it back in. Yeah, it's real sketchy. But it was cheap. It was super cheap. I got my private pilot's license for
Really?
like $3 or $4 grand, and then I I towed gliders in Georgia a semester out of I graduated high school a semester early to go do that.
Really?
Towed. Yeah, so I tow line, like you tow gliders up into the air, so I flew a little airplane to tow gliders.
Oh, okay. So you like
So you just kind of like towing a wakeboarder, except instead of a wakeboarder, you have a glider. There, this is gonna be really pretty.
bro, I'm a visual learner. now.
Yeah, so you have the airplane in front, and there's a tow rope that connects it, and you cruise up on to 2,000 feet or so, and you wave them off, and the glider disconnects, and then you disconnect, or they disconnect, and you just kind of fly back and land.
How does takeoff work then?
Yeah, so you taxi nice ahead slowly until the ground handler gives you like the stop symbol, and they hook up the glider.
Okay.
And then you tighten up the line, you just taxi another first so.
Gotcha.
And then they give you the go, and you get PTFO.
So you had enough experience to do this, flying in your local field and hang gliders and towing.
Well, all this is because I was a nut. I like lived in my car in my tent for like a year between when I left high school and the fall semester basically of college, freshman year.
Where were you?
I went to Georgia initially, but their season didn't start till May, so then I went all the way to Florida to find places that could like need a pilot. And they didn't really need a pilot, so I was basically like ground assistant, unpaid laborer.
Gotcha. Living in your car.
We'll call it like apprentice tug pilot, and then eventually they're like, this kid's a pretty hard worker, we'll put him in a plane.
Yeah.
And then when the place in Georgia spooled up for the summer, I ended up going there, and there were a few incidents that happened the first week that helped me shine, because a few other people had problems, and that's always a... Yeah. I
Opportunity to step next man up.
somebody crashed in a tree, and I rescued them from the tree, and like set them to lower them down with the rope set up, and then there was an airplane incident. and someone else
Johnny
was in.
boy, what?
Yeah, but that was lucky. That all played. So by the end of the first week,
Right
I
place,
was
right time, man. Right place,
full-time
right time.
tug pilot at like 18 years old, and I was like, I'm a baller.
Yeah.
By the time I went to college, I could get my commercial pilot's license and my flight instructor license, so I instructed my way through college and flew skydivers, and stayed pretty busy doing that, and I got a job at a cargo company right after college, flying night freight, all sketchy.
Dude, that is an unusual route.
Oh,
no
for sure.
college for you?
I mean, I did go to college,
Okay.
but I just flight instructed all the way through college,
Oh,
and I got a
gotcha.
degree in aviation maintenance, so I actually
Okay.
have that
Where'd you go?
license. Western Michigan University, and for those of you that like maps, it's right about there.
Gotcha.
Kalamazoo.
Okay. There you go.
Home of the Broncos.
I played Western Michigan in baseball, club baseball.
Ah,
Yeah.
were we good?
I think
Okay.
I think we were pretty even.
I think the only sport we're known for normally is hockey, so I think that's
Michigan, you gotta be good.
Well,
at
it's like
hockey.
Canada,
Yeah, basically.
less socialist.
Plus, club baseball is really just it's hit and miss. I mean, it's hard. How can you be not a good school at club baseball when you have 40,000 students? It's hard to believe. I played 4 years. I loved it. I was one of the best players. And I was like, that is hard to believe. I'm not... There's got to be other people that are good at baseball that are down to play baseball. But it was always hard to get people to commit.
Yeah. People have lots to do in college.
They do. Like, tow freaking...
Gliders. Fly skydivers and all that crazy shit, yeah.
Flying skydive. Is there anybody that like tweaked out and didn't jump off? I feel like it's pretty safe.
So the skydiving community has a lot of inappropriate jokes. That's like they run on cigarettes, alcohol, and like shit talk and dark humor. So like when
the skydiving community.
Oh fuck yeah, yeah. So people show up to go skydiving. They're like, just so you know, once we get to the door, like there's lots of Europeans and Australians. Like, no means go, honey. Once we're there, doesn't matter what you say, we're going after. So like there's like last minute hesitation all the time in the door, but usually they'll just, you know,
get out there. Yeah.
Yeah. Like once you're in the door, like if you're in the back of the plane, they're not gonna make you like a cat, like shove you out of the plane. Because you see that sometimes.
Yeah.
But once they're in the door, they're committed.
They're committed.
Which is always fun to watch from the front. You're like, oh man. Please.
So what do you like doing best? What was the most? You're an adventurous guy. What did you find the most adventure in? Because, you know, you're working your overnight cargo transpo. I feel like that's routine.
I mean, it is, but that.
I'm sure. Like I said, man, I'm not even.
Yeah. A lot of it's the process. So, like learning to fly skydivers. I flew for 3 different drop zones at one point. So when I got my first, a turbine engine is a kind of engine on a plane, doesn't really matter. But the first bigger airplane I flew skydivers with was in a restricted short grass field with trees on both ends, and like we'd have 16 skydivers in this stupid thing. And you're like, you know, if anything bad happens to this airplane, my boss didn't like it when I'd be like, you know, this is kind of sketchy. I'm not sketchy. I don't do anything sketchy. I'm like, when the engine quits on takeoff, like, we're all pretty screwed, man.
Yeah, we got nowhere to go.
Like, we're going straight. Like, I mean, we might live, but there's not much I can do.
And then hatchet happens.
Yeah, like that's how hatchet happened. Yeah. Except that was a heart attack. But,
oh, okay, okay.
So all the process of getting to each of them has been very adventurous, and the process of getting good at things, because everything's easy how you know how to do it, but like from going to 0 to 60 on a new job, it's kind of like poor SOPs, and you kind of have to make yourself safe. That's
SOPs?
Standard operating procedures.
Okay, gotcha.
And that can always be interesting. So
yeah, no, same thing with, you know, doing anything. If you want to be good at it, you got to kind of definitely go through the problem. Trial and error. That's what I always do with the video shit. I don't really know what I'm doing. If I want to, I know how to visualize it, but then I don't really know how to do it, so I have to fuck up a few times.
Yo, because you're not sure how it's gonna flow.
Yeah,
because you haven't seen it yet.
And this tool does this, but it looks like shit. So how do I make this tool look better? And you have to up and down. Obviously, it's a lot less life, you know, danger. You know, clicking buttons versus.
Well, skydiving, that was a summer. I had a couple summers of carnage. It was kind of depressing, actually.
Really?
Because I learned how to skydive in college during that time, because it was like free because I was doing it.
So you're certified both in flying and.
Yeah, well, I really wanted to get into base jumping because like it'd be sweet to fly a wingsuit off a mountain, right?
Unreal, man.
Unreal. Whoa! Let's
you and your extreme.
So that was my
sports.
Plan. That was the plan during college. I'm like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go to Norway. I'm gonna fly off cliffs. It's gonna be sweet. And every single one of my friends that was a base jumper died between the time I started skydiving and the time I finished college. Every single one. Or got so injured they couldn't do it anymore.
Well, rest in peace.
Yeah, and it was.
But that's, you know.
It was fucked. So
you can't say I told you so, but it's dangerous, man.
Well, the people, you know, they're not trying to be safe in their activities either.
That's the thrill they want, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we're smoking cigarettes and drinking every night and unprotected sex, so why be safe in operations?
Gliders.
Yeah. Those people are actually a lot safer. The base jumpers are the craziest.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, I was mind blown by this roller man who has rollerblades on all of his forearms and on his back, and he goes down these like hills in Italy with your like curves, and there's like a ledge on the side, and they're thin.
Oh
and
my god!
There's people on mopeds going by, but at least you're on the ground, you know.
Yeah, well, you stop fast enough. It doesn't matter if you're on the ground or not.
But still, it's just people's drive to want to do like adventurous things definitely has a risk factor, but it's that feeling when you land. I feel like, you know, it's like it's not mine's such a small, just drawn to scale feature of that. But when I get that edit and I do it, it's like a triumphant, achieving feeling.
And it's the triumph over the unknown. Like if you knew the outcome, it wouldn't be an adventure. So you have to have that unknown to have an adventure.
The pilot in you, man. That is crazy. Adventure. So what's next for you? You have any dreams coming up?
Yeah, well, Akos is that's
it's going pretty well. I mean, just a little bit I've eavesdropped from Joe, and you know, I got to talk to him a little bit. It's from my perspective, where my foot's not on the door, I'm not in the meetings, I don't know what's going on. sounds like something that people are gonna want. It sounds interesting. It sounds new. Like you said, there's a new take on it. There's a new spin. People are always looking for something new. You know, moms love being tailgates. Oh, try this. This is awesome.
So I guess the process there to make something that isn't just a novelty that people stick with is we're trying to make it better in kind of all the categories. So the one category is taste, of course. It needs to be good. Like people need to want to drink it because it tastes good. That's good. It also needs to be the best option for them. It needs to be kind of healthy compared to other alcohol products. So people compare us to seltzer a lot because that seems like a logical health choice. But seltzer's not healthy on the merit. It's kind of healthy because it's like lacking calories. It's not healthy because of what it has.
And people think it's healthy because it's clear.
And people think it's healthy because it's clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're going to merge the line between what, I guess, the flavor profile is something that you like to drink, like a nice, I don't know, pick a nice beer, but it's maybe a little softer than a beer though.
Yeah.
With the health benefits of being low calorie, but with actually having vitamins and minerals and amino acids and stuff.
Yeah.
But it also tastes better than what you've had. So those are two things. But the third pillar of being a better option is actually being better for the world. So the Cambodian farmers and deforestation and the whole social issue behind why we picked Cambodia, right, is another big issue. Because I want people to be able to buy this and pick it up and look at it and be like, be able to smile at what they're doing. And that's the three pillars of, in our opinion, a successful.
So it's trying to push against the whole deforestation and palm oil.
Yeah. So just to clarify, palm oil comes from a different species of tree, and it's totally destructive.
Okay, good.
They cut the tree down and burn it to get the oil out. It's
terrible. Yes.
The palm sap tapping
it's a different tree.
Well, different kind of tree. We use the palmyra palm in Cambodia, and that's a sustainable tapping method. You can't even really get palm sap out of it until it's 30 years old, and then after that, you can do it from then until it's about 100 years old, and that's about how long they live.
Okay.
So that's totally sustainable. And the biggest environmental issue facing Cambodia, I mean, there's a few, but the biggest one that I would say would be deforestation. And the risk would be that the people that have any land that have a small rice farm or any trees on them, if there's no economic incentive to keep their palm trees alive, they'll sell them as timber, which is, the logging interest has destroyed all the forest in Cambodia in lots of places.
Sad to see. But,
it is.
But people are tweeting about it, so they're putting their effort in.
Gosh.
Oh my gosh. Don't even get me started on the lack of effort it takes to post something. Or whatever. Anyway. People don't want to have good intentions, but, when you see, Australian forest is getting burned up. Like, people try to raise money and stuff, but, let's talk about it. But, it sucks for them.
Yeah, so talking with Joe, who's on a screen right now, direct action involvement to actually have actionable solutions to problems that we can solve is one of the real reasons I want to be in business in the first place. Because if you've ever worked for a corporation and you see things that you see things that you do better, right? We could do this better, and I could fix it.
Because you don't seem like a businessman. You're not like a business guy,
No, I don't want to be.
I'm late for my meeting,
No. But I don't think that's the purpose of business. I don't think people that innovate are that kind of person. That's a guy that's the guy that runs a business like after it's already been built. Like the guy that made IBM wasn't that guy. The guy that works there now is that guy. But that guy didn't make anything.
Gotcha.
He didn't go from an idea to something real.
Well put.
Yeah, that guy just looks at money.
So your Cambodia is having incentive for these rice farmers not to sell their wood as lumber, to be able to let's keep these
iris,
what is it called?
Palmyra palms.
Palmyra palms, and use them for Akos.
For Akos, exactly. So we
can get drunk.
We can get drunk. We can keep trees alive, which is imperative. And then also making sure the farmers are well compensated. They're usually subsistence farmers, so they live on the rice and things they make.
Absolutely.
They don't even really have an income, so the income they may have could be from selling their palm sap to make sugar, because they can refine that into sugar. But our process is much less labor intensive, or will be for them. And the agricultural co-op of Cambodia makes sure they get paid a fair salary regardless of the supply and demand woes, because obviously if demand is like super, super low, the price could get driven down to a point where they wouldn't get a fair wage.
Absolutely.
So we're making sure that that's prevented as well. So our highest order here would be making sure that kind of every person this touches, from the guy that climbs the tree to tap it to the person that drinks it, his life is at least incrementally improved, hopefully.
Damn, man.
Reasonably.
You got my feels over here. I don't want to talk about margaritas or Katy Perry, but you got me. We discussed the interview before this, but that's awesome, dude. That's a great. Obviously, you're saying it, and it needs to get done. I'm a very big advocate. You can say what the fuck you want, as long as it gets done, you know?
Yep.
So I'm rooting for it, but it is really seeming like a really cool company to be a part of, and I really am interested in seeing where it goes from here.
Yeah, so in terms of that, I completely agree. It's easy to say something on the internet. It's really, really easy to
Circle
tweet
back,
something
yeah.
and, you know, pretend that you're going to do good things. So what
Yes.
I'd love would be to have this interview 6 months from now and to have some footage from Cambodia as production is increasing and you can see exactly what's happened. And then we
Gives
can
me
talk
chills,
about,
man.
we can talk about what we've done rather than what we're going to
Because
do.
that's the goal of this, I think, in general, is just kind of collect thoughts and talk to a stranger, you know, relatively, I mean, I'm educated, but relatively, like, moderate in the whole scheme of, like, culture and society, and try and talk to them and see their perspective on it. But I'm interested in it, man. I really think it's cool. I would love to see where it goes.
Well, in the
Proud of
spectrum
you.
of society and all that stuff, I think that people think that the world belongs to Donald Trump or Joe Biden or Nancy Pelosi. But really, those people are all
Putin.
yesterday.
Yeah.
If you see something that needs to be fixed in the world, it is bold enough to fix it. And if you're not going to come up with solutions, then you shouldn't be posting.
Well
My
put.
opinion.
John, dude, thank you so much,
Yeah.
man. It was a pleasure. The last few have been up and down, and this definitely helped me get off on the right foot too, trying to push this show in a different direction. So I appreciate you coming on, man. It's an honor. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you. It's
Yeah.
been good being here.
All right, dude, great job.
Yeah, we started shaking. I was at a party with your girlfriend. She was butt naked. Yeah, we started shaking. I was at a party with your girlfriend.